What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade, Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 13, episode 13 review. If you guys have not checked out my video and on Danielle Cabral, make sure you do, because I had some really hot juicy tea on her that you all need to know if you didn't already know. Okay, now let's get into last night's episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey, because it was a good one. So we start off the episode with Danielle's mother visiting her home, and they sit down and talk, and Danielle tells her mama how she had a hard time in Ireland because, according to her, Rachel couldn't let their situation go about her calling her a rat, and Margaret was attacking her left and right. Child, if this lady, this actress, watch my video, if this actress don't stop rewriting history, because you were the one that started with both of them. Neither one of them came at you. You the one that started everything. Only time Rachel came at you is when she confronted you initially about calling her a rat. Every other time it was about a conversation that you started. So how was people bothering you? Nobody was bothering you. Nobody said nothing to you. You started every last argument outside of the one when Rachel confronted you. So please stop with this narrative that you trying to spin, acting like somebody was being mean to your big grown self. So Danielle was like, and I know this rumor that Margaret told a friend of hers that Melissa was seen kissing a man in the back of a car. And her mom was like, I think you need to tell Melissa. You need to tell her. And I'm like, girl, you so dumb. But then again, I was like, no, you're not. You're playing the game, like I said in my video. Danielle is not dumb by a long shot. She knows what being the bearer of this secret will mean for her on this show. It will keep her around. It causes a major stir. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows that Teresa and Jennifer are using her to do their dirty work. She knows. And she's okay with it because, like I said in my video about her, she's coming for that number one spot. Mark my words. Mark my words. But she knows she's being used by Teresa and Jennifer, and she's fine with it. But be fine with it when the tables turn around on you and people start coming for you and your marriage. Okay. So Rachel and John flew to go talk to a family attorney about adopting Jaden, and the attorney tells them that the courts have an obligation to serve his biological mother, and that, she could very well contest it, and if she does contest it, then, they'll have to do the whole court situation. So Rachel starts to cry because she's been this boy's mother for majority of his entire life, and she says that she's the one that's been raising him, that's her son, and John agrees. And she was like, it's just not fair because this woman has not been around, so why should I even have to go through all of this? But that is the court system, and that is the way, unfortunately the law goes. I think that it should be a thing where if the parent is absent for such amount of time, then it ain't even no reaching out and saying, do you want to give up your rights? You already gave them up, child. So the lawyer then says, they're going to serve the mother, and if they don't hear anything in 45 days, then they're in the clear, and then, they can proceed with the adoption and everything. And based off what we saw in the trailer, it seems like the little boy wants her to adopt him. He looks at her like she is his mom. You know what I'm saying? So I applaud her. I applaud John. It seems like they have a very loving family, and I hope that everything works out in their favor. So after that, Jennifer is talking to Bill about Ireland and everything, and she asks him, did he spend time with the kids while she was gone, because they was calling her, asking her about this, that, and the third, and he was like, well, no, because, I tend to people all day, and when I come home, basically he don't want to deal with nobody, pretty much. And she asked him, do he want to go to therapy again to, still work on their issues? And he was like, nah, because she the one that got all the complaints. He's fine. Baby, Bill is a piece of work. And it's like, I see what Jennifer is saying. With him not participating, him not stepping up as a parent, him pulling himself away from them physically, emotionally, everything. He's just not there. He's just there to provide finances. Other than that, Bill ain't got nothing for these people. Nothing. That man is checked out. That man ain't trying to be nobody daddy. That man ain't trying to be nobody husband, okay? He just trying to be the plastic surgeon that he is and deal with whoever this little boo thing I think that he got on the side. I feel like Bill got him a boo thing on the side that know how to play her position. Because if he ain't spending no time with you and the kids, and who he's spending all his time with, he ain't just sitting in that beach house, the outhouse, the second house. He ain't just doing that. His attention and time is going somewhere. But the fact that this grown man sitting up here talking about, because he tend to people all day, he don't want to come home and tend to his children. I know you lying. All them raggedy kids y'all got running around that house, and you don't want to deal with them. Jennifer just supposed to deal with them, but you wanted to knock her up 50 million times, but you don't want to have no hands-on approach with your own children. Baby, I kick Bill in his big wide forehead. Girl, get out of here. I just don't see their relationship lasting. I really don't. I give Jennifer and Bill maybe 2 more years being together, and I see them getting a divorce. I see her getting tired of it. I know it might be against their culture, but I see her getting very tired of him and his ways and not being there for her. And I think that she's going to be the one that leaves him unless he finally steps up and leaves her. But I don't really see this relationship lasting too much longer. Teresa and her daughters go to try on the girls' bridesmaids dresses, and can't hate. The girls look so pretty in their blush pink dresses. They all look just so cute. Adriana looked like a grown woman. She only 12 years old, child. And seeing this scene with the girls FaceTiming their dad so he could see them in their dresses, and Joe and Teresa having a conversation, and Teresa just telling him, I pray that, you're able to come back to the States at some point, and he wishes her well on her relationship, and just see how far they've come as co-parents and how much the girls love both of them. You know what I'm saying? It was a really good positive scene, and it further made me feel like Teresa needs to just go ahead and leave Jersey alone. Go ahead and leave Jersey alone and do a spinoff show with you, Louie, Louie's 2 sons, and your 4 girls, your sister-in-laws, your new sister-in-law, your new mama-in-law, and y'all do a Kardashians type of show. You have 4 beautiful daughters. Gia's in college. Annabelle, or whatever, the one that don't talk, Gabrielle, the one that we never hear talk, she just stand there like Wednesday Addams. We could finally hear her talk. She could be the Courtney of the group, Then you got Melania, who is pretty, but she could be like the Chloe of the group because, she's the most, vocal and all of that stuff. Then you got little Adriana, who's basically the Rob of the family. Of the family. You know what I'm saying? Gia is the Kim of the family. You know what I'm saying? Let's see these girls navigate going to college, dating, being, celebrity kids, how their relationship is with each other. I follow Melania on TikTok, and I love seeing her TikToks with her going over to her dad's side of the family, spending time with them. I especially loved her TikToks when she's spending time with her stepbrother, Louis' son, who is mentally challenged. And I love when they go out on their outings together and how she just dotes on him and spends time with him and how good she is with him. I would love to see that on a show. That would really show Teresa in another light. I feel like Teresa on the Housewives is the nasty, conniving, manipulative, dirty, down low bitch. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. And the real Teresa, outside of this crap that she does on this show, is the Teresa that we saw on Girls Trip. Because when Teresa's on Girls Trip, she ain't trying none of this crap that she tries in Jersey because she know better. She know better than to try that with them other girls. She knows better. That was the real true Teresa that we saw on that show. So it's time for her to go. It's so time for her to go. I feel like it's time for her to go, Melissa and Joe to go. All of them need to go. Then we see Melissa and Joe at their home, and Melissa congratulates Antonia on being an honor roll student, which is great. She seems like a very well-rounded girl. It just cracked me up how Gio was just sitting there like he could care less. That man was focused on his tacos and nothing else. And then you hear a honking noise outside. They go outside and they like, Antonia was like, whose car is that? Come to find out, it was her 17th birthday present. They bought her a truck and she just burst out crying. And you could just tell how thankful and appreciative she was. And it was just a really beautiful, sweet moment because she seems like a sweet and responsible girl that don't cause no trouble or nothing like that. So after that, Joe and Melissa go back inside and they talk. And they basically just both agreed to, go to the wedding to support Teresa. But after that, they're done. Like, they don't want to argue and fight anymore with her. They're done. And I think that everybody was like, Joe and Melissa gonna get fired and not asked back. I think that they were ready and prepared to leave the show. That's why they were saying it while they were filming, that they're done. Duh. They were prepared to leave at the end of the day because there's no way to still be on the show with Teresa talking about you're done, because you're going to have to interact with her and you're going to be around her, aka Melissa. She has to be around her. So things will be brought up and the cycle will continue. So I think that Joe and Melissa went into this season after the way that it's played out and was like, you know what? I think we're done with this. I think we're done with this. I think we're done with her. And it's time for us to move on with our life. And I 100% agree with it. They need to. It's time, because ain't nobody got time for all this toxic energy between them. And at this point, like I said 50 million times, the issue is between Joe and Teresa. They are the core part of all of this madness. And Louie and Melissa have been sucked in and, of course, have to be on, their partner's side. You know what I'm saying? So Dolores meets with Frank in his waiting to exhale leather vest. I never need to see that man in no vest like that ever again in life. And they sit down and talk about their situation, and he wants them to continue to do things with just the four of them, with them two and their two children, without their partners. And she was like, that's just not going to happen. Like, I have a man. I cannot be excluding him. And, she was like, it just needs to be boundaries. And he's just not used to that because his mom is gone, and he looks at Dolores as his best friend, a person that he can always go to about things. And she's like, that won't change. It's just certain things need to be put in place. You know what I'm saying? And it can't just be the four of us anymore, because I have my person, you have yours, even though you act like you ain't really got yours, because he said he don't want Brittany around. If I was Brittany, baby, I'd be like, excuse you? You know what? I ain't got to be around. That would hurt my feelings, and that would really put things in perspective for me, that this ain't serious for you as it is for me. You know what I'm saying? So Brittany, girl, you got a lot of thinking to do. But at the end of the day, they come to the conclusion that they all are going to go out together with their spouses to support Frankie getting his dream job. Then after that, we see Teresa preparing to go to her surprise bridal shower. She thinks that she's just going to have a really cute, fancy lunch with the girls in prep for the wedding. And we see her in the car with Melania and Adriana, and Louie calls her. And so, of course, she has to put the call on, speakerphone because she's filming, but he doesn't know that she's filming. So he was like, I'm calling you because I'm putting together the guest list for our gathering at Avra. And he was like, I'm going to invite Dolores and her plus one, Jackie, and, Jen, and da-da-da-da. He was like, I'm going to send a text out to everyone except Melissa and Joe. I'm not inviting them. And Teresa said, like, she was frozen, because she was like, oh my God, he just said it. Like, oh my God, I got to go. You can't win when you play dirty. And all them tree huggers and Teresa fans out there that just want to ride or die for this diabolical ass woman who loves to play all the games in the book. Like, what excuse you gonna come up for her now? Like, it's obvious this whole season that she has been doing stuff to show that she does not want her brother and her sister-in-law around. She made them people feel unwanted by doing these backhanded, underhanded ass things that she continues to do. And Louie right along there with her. They are both trash human beings. So Teresa hurry up and grab her phone and was like, the cameras are on, I'm filming. And he was like, oh, okay. And she was like, you have to invite everyone. You just can't leave someone out anyway. And so she hangs up the phone and was like, well, anyway, they're invited. And Melania was like, why? And she was like, because, you just can't exclude people, and, you can't just go around with all that hate in your heart. And I was like, that's the problem right now. You talk about stuff with these girls like they grown. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Melania is sitting there talking some why. And that's because of the crap that Teresa has put into these girls' head about their aunt and uncle throughout the years. Like, it's just, the whole situation is just disgusting. But yeah, Teresa got caught. Teresa and Louie got caught. Because I'm betting you how the thing was going to go. They was going to have that event. Joe and Melissa was going to find out that they wasn't invited, feel some type of way. And that was going to be the nail in the coffin for them to be like, you know what? We shouldn't even go to the wedding. That was going to be her way to get them to not come to the wedding. Because I think Teresa at this point was realizing that the tea hadn't came out yet about Melissa so-called kissing this man. So that was her backup way to get them, make sure that they didn't come to the wedding, to make them look bad. But of course, Danielle is going to open her mouth, because this is just what a newbie would do. That's why they planted the seed and told her. So I think that was her backup plan, just in case, Danielle didn't spill the beans in time before the season wrap, because we only got 2 more episodes and then the season is done. And then after the season finale, we have Teresa's wedding special and then the reunion. So, back at the venue, everybody's arriving. Ashley, Darby is there from Potomac and everything. And we see Gia say, I'm going to go say hi to my aunt. Like, she do not want to go say hi to that lady. It's like pulling teeth. And she goes over and speak, and, they give each other a little hug or whatever. And I know today it was all in the blogs about how Melissa blocked Gia on social media and everybody's in an uproar. Look, at the end of the day, the little girl don't like her. Obviously, something must have happened behind the scenes. It was already said that Joe said, like, on the reunion or something like that Gia begged him to leave her or whatever, to leave Melissa or whatever. She denies it and says that she just called him and begged him to come to her mama's wedding. That was all she said. I 100% could see Gia saying, Uncle Zio, you need to leave her. She's the problem. She's the reason why we're not a family. I could so see her saying it, because she don't like her. She tolerates Melissa. All the girls just tolerate that lady. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but it's social media. If she blocked her. Ooh wee. It's better than cussing her ass out, because then she'll really be called a villain. So after that, Danielle says in her confessional that she decided not to tell Melissa right then and there at the shower, because it just wasn't the right time, because, Melissa already looked like she felt uneasy being on Teresa's turf and around Teresa's family, even though she is a family, but okay. So she says she's going to wait to tell her, of course. So as the ladies are sitting down eating, somebody asks, what are y'all drinking? And you hear Jen and Aiden say, we're drinking whiskey, paying homage to our trip to Ireland. And here go Danielle, starting with Rachel, once again, talking about some, don't give it to her. She'll comfort me. And I'm like, but then you would go home and start crying and saying that she attacked you. You keep on starting with these people and then want to cry and act like somebody did something to you. And it's just like, am I watching the same show as some of you other viewers? Like, do y'all not see what's going on here? Like, this is ridiculous. So Teresa does a speech or whatever, and she shouts out her new sister-in-laws and all of this crap. And of course, she doesn't say anything to Melissa. Once again, further pushing her away and alienating her and really drilling it in that y'all are not my family. I got a new family and I have no use for you all. It's so petty. It's so ridiculous. And it's mean. It's 100% mean, because if you don't like this lady to that extent, stop inviting her to stuff. Just stop. Instead of having her come and continuously shitting on her in her face. Like, make it make sense. So even Teresa's trainer even goes up to Melissa and was like, Melissa, I feel for you. I really effing do. You got to mention your sister-in-law. Like, you just got to do that. She was like, and I've said to Teresa, enough with this. You have one brother. And it's just like, everybody see what's going on. Everybody sees. And I bet you we gonna find out that after tonight's episode that trainer been fired. Because that's the type of chick that Teresa is. Watch. She gonna fire that girl. She gonna fire her and not speak to her because she spoke the truth. Anybody that speaks the truth to Teresa is immediately cut off. That's why Dolores just sit there on mute and don't say nothing and check her and tell her when she wrong, because she don't want to be excommunicado, aka John Wick. Okay. Overall, though, I'm gonna give tonight's episode an A, because I just shook my head at all of the tomfoolery that's going on this show. Like, ugh, just disgusting, these people. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell button, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.